Today on the American Truck Podcast, Star Wars Battlefront development is shifting to Battlefront 2, Psychonauts 2 has a publisher, WoW tokens can be traded for Blizzard cash, and Overwatch is getting a server browser. Hello and welcome to the American Truck Podcast with Andrew C.
Dan Jefferson B.
So...
Rip the soul of Dr. Shadow.
There it goes.
Yeah, I think he's playing Dark Souls, so...
Just look at it fly. Look
Yep.
at all that soul and darkness.
Mm-hmm.
Darkness and
How
souls.
he crumbled.
I mean, isn't that how you feel after playing a round of Dark Souls? You feel your soul dying moment after moment, day after day.
I wouldn't know.
Yeah.
Not my kind of game.
I think there's a very good reason for that.
Oh yeah, yep. This is right here. This is my kind of game. Just driving in a truck.
You know, I was trying to explain to somebody the other day about playing American Truck Simulator, and they just had this look of bewilderment because when I explained to them, like, yeah, you drive around in a truck across the southwestern United States. They were like, "You call this fun?" I'm like, "Yeah, I call this a weekly podcast venue." They're like, "Okay, that's cool."
Mm-hmm.
They didn't actually say it was cool, but they said okay. So I consider that a small victory.
Minor, however, probably less than desired.
I call it minor but mighty.
True.
But you know what is what's not minor, not minor of a news topic?
Is it Star Wars related?
It is mildly Star Wars related, as I narrowly dodged that thing that I was going to run into. So Star Wars right now. Well, actually, it's I guess it's EA, or
Yeah,
no.
you could say EA.
Is it because is EA the publisher or is EA the developer?
Oh, you're right. Yeah, no, it'd be DICE.
DICE. Okay, so presently DICE, what I can only assume is have relocated their team that was developing on Battlefront 1, the second. Hopefully they're moving them over to Battlefront 2, the second, because right now, apart from bug fixes, we're pretty much set for what is considered to be the full canon of Battlefront 1, the second. So yeah, we're moving in that direction.
Indeed.
Yeah,
there
we talked
was
last week about some stuff with Battlefront 2, the second. So hopefully we'll see some more development pushed in that direction.
Indeed, yeah, there was supposed to be some more like skirmishes and stuff and whatnot added to Battlefront 1, the second. But they said, yeah, it's not going to happen anymore. So
Could even just be a funding thing at that point.
yeah, I'm sure. I mean, I bet. Yeah, Battlefront 2, the second, is sucking up a lot of funds.
Right.
For its
Well, it's also
development.
like it's not financially viable to be adding content to a game that is not returning on money, but it is more financially viable to take a gamble on a game that has not yet been created.
Right, and will inevitably make them a whole poop ton of money again.
Yeah, oh, absolutely, because I can automatically think of at least half a dozen people that are going to pick up Battlefront 2 the second, like, release day or at least release week.
Right, despite it being a very similar game to the last one.
Right, but because it's Star Wars and Battlefront 2 the second, it's worth it, because in my opinion, Battlefront 2 the first was superior to Battlefront 1 the first.
True.
In a myriad of ways, so I hold no qualms.
I did always quite enjoy Battlefront 2, the first.
Yeah.
It was always a good...
Especially, did you play the map that was all Jedi?
I don't know. It's been a
It was
while
like-
since I played
It
it.
was on Mos Eisley, and it was just all Jedi. And so my siblings and I, because we were like 10, no, we would have been older than 10. I was like 12 or 13, but we would like set it up to be on Mos Eisley and just be like all the Jedi and just run around doing Jedi things with unlimited time and not have a care in the world.
I think the first time I played it was when I was a freshman in college, so... Yeah. I spent
Gotcha.
the entire time firing my little pew-pew gun and going pew 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 pew.
You're a freshman in college. It's different at that point.
Yeah, it was a good time.
Good times. You know what's some not so good times right now?
All the people who used to work on the Wii U.
Yeah, well, specifically all the people who really love the Wii U, and I'm in this camp just because, like, the Wii U brought us things like Splatoon, and the new Brawl, the new Super Smash Brothers. We got all kinds of really interesting and unique content out of it. So it's sad to see. For way of declaration, Nintendo has officially ceased worldwide Wii U productions.
Rip.
Which is really interesting to me, just because like Sony is still producing PlayStation Vitas. And like there's still a market for it. So,
yep.
I don't know. And this is kind of part of the cultural shock of what it means to own a home console versus what it means to own a mobile console, because Japan, like America in a lot of ways, is such a mobile society. A mobile console is going to have more staying power despite its lesser graphics capabilities.
Right.
If that makes sense. So it's one of those things. It's sad, but it also means that hopefully we've got a slew of talent that is just sitting around gonna hopefully pick up a Switch related project.
Right. Yeah, I would be surprised if they hadn't already moved everyone over to Switch or other things, and that's probably why the production of that ended up having to end, because there just wasn't people, probably.
Right. And it might just be like this is the official close, and maybe like 99% of the team already had moved desks and all that jazz.
Yeah, right. There was 2 guys in Wii U production, and they finally pulled them off of that.
Yeah,
this might just
be an in
Jim, pack it up. We're done here.
Yep.
But I'm not done building this one yet. Too bad. Put it in a box.
I was thinking like developer production.
No, I don't know. I think
like,
it was entirely
like an assembly line production. I see what you're saying.
All production entirely, whatever you
Yeah, no, I
think
that one makes more sense. Yeah.
Yep.
So hopefully hopefully those production lines will fire up once again, because someone, I'm not about to name names, but someone on this podcast has really been trying to get their hands on a Switch and has yet to do so.
Yeah. Well, I would sure hope that their production lines are fired up already and are rapidly producing those, since they come out in March. And they got a month and a half-ish to go.
If you remember as much as I do, the chaos that was trying to find a Nintendo Wii in the early months of release, like that was just nuts.
Oh yeah, it's the same thing happening here, but it's still I sure hope that they're already boxing them up.
Yeah, no, I hope for production round 2 to be off the ground, but I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. I mean, we saw earlier this week Nintendo has been sort of trying to get more pre-order stock in. I saw in the Britons that they actually had created a store over there where they were where they kind of replenished some of the pre-order stock, but I haven't seen any indication that was going to happen here. Although I did see GameStop, I think, got some more for a very short period of time, and then Amazon got a couple more, and then everyone ran out again.
Right.
So I will say, definitely, if you're in the market for a Switch and you missed the pre-order, do keep an eye on your venues that you can buy stuff and that you can pre-order on, because there is a good chance that a pre-order will reopen, depending on how stock shifts and whatnot, and as more get allocated for day one release. So
absolutely.
But in Switch-related news, you know what game we talked about that we thought was going to be on the Switch, but we weren't really sure exactly what it was going to be yet?
Oh, are you talking about that whole thing that the rest of the world calls football, but we call soccer?
Yeah, I think that's it.
Hmm.
I think that might be it. So we weren't 100% sure what FIFA was going to be on the Switch. We only knew that EA was going to make a FIFA thing, and they finally went and confirmed it and said, nope, yep, it's going to be actual FIFA. FIFA 18 will be a special full custom edition for the Switch.
Nice. Okay, so I wonder like, what does that look like on there? And just from like a development perspective, like, does this mean we have to have like a tuned down game? Is this more akin to a mobile version, or is it just like designed in such a way that it's going to use that Tegra chip that's built into its fullest capacity.
Right, and that's always going to be a good question when it comes to these kind of developments, because I mean, we really won't know what it looks like until they're far enough along to be, showing it off and whatnot.
Right.
So.
Hopefully we won't get just like a bunch of cinematic trailers, because here's to hoping we get like actual gameplay, because that's useful. Cinematics are nice, but they're not useful.
Right, exactly. And I mean, we are gonna have to wait a little while because we just started 2017, so we're not gonna be getting the 2018 version of FIFA for a little bit.
Unless they do it like Cars, where they release it 6 months in advance.
I think they said it was closer to the end of the year. So
Q4 17, Q1 18, I guess.
Something like that, yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
So plenty of time for them to show off what it'll actually look like.
But that's definitely fascinating. In other news, we've got the development of Psychonauts 2, which is a game that I know a lot of people are kind of excited for, especially if you played the original, which is just kind of one of those cult classic games that people grew up with. I saw they had a VR kind of experience going on with it, which I thought was super interesting. But that is being headed up by Starbreeze Games, which, before I go ahead and ask, the good Andrew C decided to already fill me in. This is the same development company that, they're a publishing company. They worked on a Payday franchise.
Yeah,
and so we saw them
franchise, Payday 1 and 2.
Yeah,
they handled all of that. So, and they're going to be doing marketing and distribution for Psychonauts 2. So they will take over all of that, which means that you're also going to see a large investment of capital.
All right, and I'm fine with capital so long as capital doesn't come with strings attached, because strings attached is what made No Man's Sky what it is.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, so they're investing about $8 million into the game. The crowdfunding brought about $3.8 million into the game, and Double Fine also added some of their own capital to the mix back when it was first funded. And Double Fine did say that they do get to keep all creative freedom with the game, and that they don't actually lose anything partnering here with Starbreeze.
Very nice.
So
it's always good to hear.
Yep. Yeah, we don't want a No Man's Sky 2.
No, especially with such a beloved IP.
Oh yeah, that'd be a really unfortunate thing to happen. But they did also sort of confirm that it's going to be out on PS4, Xbox One, and PC sometime in 2018.
Hey, that's better than we had before.
Indeed. So it's something to look forward to. Hopefully it doesn't get delayed.
Hey, in some news that we don't normally talk about, so we've got WWE 2K17 in the famed worldwide wrestling entertainment franchise. Beloved by many, and it is now available at the entry-level price of $50. It's your standard AAA title release. There is a deluxe edition which will include a season pass for $75, which is a $25 upcharge. But if you were to buy that DLC separately through the season, you would technically be paying $5 more at $30. So if you already know ahead in advance that you are going to get all of this DLC, you may as well just pick up the deluxe edition. Also, because everybody loves that deluxe edition badge. It's for the shinies. So yeah, I can't really add anything to that. I've never played a WWE game before.
Yeah, it's I know it's something that the good doctor is quite into. He's was waiting to do a WWE 2K17 playthrough at some point on the channel, but now that it's finally out, you might see that eventually. So.
All right, good to know. Good to keep your eyes open for that.
But something you'll also want to keep an eye out for is the skyrocketing price of WoW tokens.
Yeah, no, and some serious twists of gaming economy. I was reading through a little bit of this article before we began the recording, and dear goodness, this is like one of the most fascinating like pieces of economics that I have ever seen.
Oh yeah, it really is. Basically, they decided that you'd be able to take your WoW token, which currently, before this update, it was basically the method of, I can't afford to pay for WoW membership, but I have a lot of revenue in game that I, in the form of gold. So I could then take the gold, go to the auction house, I could buy a WoW token, and I could redeem that then for 30 days of WoW membership. And conversely, let's say I have a lot of money in real life, I could easily pay $15, $20 for a WoW token, but I don't really have the time in game to get all the gold that I need. So I could then take and buy with real money a WoW token, and I could then sell it on the auction house, and I could then recoup in game legitimate gold, thus getting rid of the whole more in-game illegal gold trading that previously users might take part of. So it's a method of kind of cleaning up the economy in the game, but it has also created a bit of a fluctuation in the economy now, because they decided that you can trade your WoW tokens for money that is then stored in Battle.net that you can use to spend on things in other Blizzard titles.
So we're talking about like Hearthstone packs, Overwatch chests and skins.
Exactly.
The whole
So
9 yards.
if you have a lot of money in WoW, you could, in theory, be taking your money out of WoW, redeeming it for real dollars, and transferring that value into your other Blizzard titles and start doing, racking up all the cards and getting all the skins and all the fancy stuff for all the other games.
Now, what I'm curious about is, do you think this could translate to say you had somebody who didn't own Overwatch, or something really big, like a full game. Do you think in theory they could trade WoW tokens for a copy of Overwatch?
It's very possible. I mean, I guess it kind of depends on how big the credit pool is,
Yeah.
Because I don't know that I saw that in the news on it, how much, whether if there was a limit on how much money you could convert.
Yeah, like you're only allowed to keep, or I mean, even if there was just a time limit of you're only allowed to transfer over so many dollars per so many days, basically to prevent money laundering, because I could see that going wrong on a plethora of levels.
True, but I guess it kind of depends, as long as you can't get the money out. As far as
if you can get it out as cash, you should be okay.
Right, so I'm pretty sure all you can do is redeem the credits for in-game stuff on other titles.
The big thing is it creates a unified economy.
Right.
And I wonder if you could go
Blizzard titles.
Yeah, can I go backwards now? Can I turn the money that's in my Blizzard wallet into WoW tokens? So could I, by being really good at Hearthstone, earn free game time in World of Warcraft?
That is a good question, yeah.
Does this create a single kind of like a one world economy sort of situation where, your strengths are playing into your weaknesses and vice versa?
It's very possible. Very possible.
This isn't the first time that World of Warcraft has become the center of some very important economic discussions. So I just think this is ultimately very fascinating, because the implications that we could derive from people looking at this particular system could actually have some very real world impacts.
Oh yeah.
So I'm thoroughly intrigued.
I am quite intrigued as well. But I was kind of speaking of Blizzard titles here. We got one little piece of Overwatch news, and that is that they just added to the public test realm a server browser for Overwatch.
Now, is this player-hosted servers or Blizzard-hosted servers?
I believe it is still only Blizzard-hosted servers, but it does allow people to choose the maps that they want to play on, and have that more customizable methods of picking what kind of game they actually want to play.
So it's just adding more player control at this point.
Yeah, basically, yeah, because that's one thing. That's kind of the one disadvantage that Overwatch has, is you really don't get a choice of what you're going to play.
Right.
it's
You just kind of get
chosen
thrown
for
into
you.
the big queue and go from there.
Right,
And
exactly.
there's so many different game modes and there's so many different maps.
Yeah. So
To have a
now,
little bit of
if there's something specific that you want to do, say you and a friend want to jump into a very specific game mode on a specific map, now you can do that. You know, at least once it exits public test realm.
right. So in good theory, we should see this go to production in just a few short weeks to months. And yeah, this is a great feature for fans of the game and for people who just enjoy player choice and player usability. Yeah, you just totally smashed into me.
I totally didn't even see you.
That's hilarious. I was in your rearview mirror the whole time.
I didn't see you.
Yeah, very well.
But on that bombshell, it is time to end. Hope you enjoyed this episode of the American Truck Podcast. If you liked this, make sure you hit that like button down below. Perhaps also hit the subscribe button. Maybe even leave a comment, and we will see you guys in the next one.